treats. Diamond, yeah, she got them treats. Diamond, yeah, she got them treats. What she got, bro, put me on. Diamond, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamond, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamond, yeah, she got them sweets. What she got, bro, put me on. She got cupcakes, smash cakes, candle apple, she got brownies. Make mine with a walnut style, please. Diamond, yeah, she got them treats. You gon' hear it all over this beat. She got them treats. Strawberries with the chocolate drip, chocolate pretzel sticks. Yeah, she got the sweets. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. Chicken and steaks. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. Shrimp, loaded potatoes. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. The wing platters got halos. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. Diamond, yeah, she got them eats. Loaded chili cheese fries, quesadillas, veggie burgers, turkey burgers, cheeseburgers, she'll serve them up. The chicken and waffles is clutch. Diamond, yeah, she got the touch. The club sandwich is cold cut. The salad with the fruit and grilled chicken got it sold up. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. 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 Loaded Alfredo, curry fried chicken. I heard your steak and cheese sub was a thing of fiction. Unreal. Diamond, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamond, yeah, she got them treats. Diamond, yeah, she got them eats. Yeah. Diamond, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamond, yeah, she got them treats. Diamond, yeah, she got them eats. Yeah.
To place your order, call 919-780-2240. 919-780-2240. 919-780-2240. Diamin SweetTreatz. Call my mother, she'll hook you up.
How's everybody doing today? This is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I go by the name of Sion 919. I'm excited because I got my real good friend in the building today, multiple business owner. She goes by the name of Diamin SweetTreatz. So without any further ado, how you feeling today, Diamin?
I am good. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Wow, yo, I done known you for a while. You done came a long way. I'm definitely excited about everything you're doing. So we just seen the clip. Let's talk about Diamin SweetTreatz because y'all everywhere. Yo, what got you inspired and how did you first get started?
All right. So I used to work for the YMCA, and I'm not gonna lie, I was getting married, so I wanted to raise money for my honeymoon. And it was around Mother's Day. So I didn't want to buy anything for my mom. I just wanted to make something from the heart because we weren't really tight growing up.
Right.
So what I did was I found a recipe and I just made some chocolate covered strawberries and I gave it to my mom and she lit up.
Wow.
So when she lit up, it kind of like brought us together. So I just started like selling them. And I started selling them and posting up like order forms at the YMCA and all the break rooms. And when I would come back at the end of the day, it'd be all filled up. And it was like once they received their orders, everybody was so happy with the product. And it just kept going for 2 years straight at the YMCA.
Right.
So that's how I got started.
Okay, so now you got it. You put it out there. People, they definitely receiving it well, and they loving the food and stuff like that. So let's talk about how did that feel now? Like you said, you putting them up in the break room. You're trying to raise a little money. Now you come back, it's filled. Everybody got to have them. What's going through your mind, and how did that feel for you?
It was great. It was like a positive, supportive atmosphere. Like I just felt like I had a purpose, and I had a dream that I could fulfill. So it was different for me. So it was something that I knew I could achieve if I just stick with it.
Okay, and that's the thing. You done came a long way. So you started out with you said the chocolate covered strawberries and stuff like that. What was the original things you were selling at first?
That was the original. So my first recipe was the chocolate covered strawberries. After that, I started doing candy apples.
Wow.
And then, I did like candy coated popcorn and cupcakes and cookies. So it just kind of like branched off from just customers at the YMCA to now I'm doing birthday parties and
Right.
anniversaries and things of that nature.
Wow. That's the thing. You got a big event coming up in the beginning of August.
Oh yeah. Shout out to DY Nasty. 97.9 has been very good to me. I'm gonna just tell you right now,
Right.
DY is amazing. He's always supported me, so I'm always supporting him. But yeah, we got that Hill the Hood #3 coming up, and I'm gonna be bringing my famous turkey wings.
Wow. Right.
And I want y'all to try them.
Yeah, that's dope right there. So let me ask, how many things on the menu right now? How many meals do you have on the menu?
Right now, I got 5 specials. So the 5 specials is I have the Philly steak Alfredo,
Wow.
loaded baked potatoes, Hawaiian bowls, wing platters, and I have steak, broccoli, and rice and gravy.
Wow. Okay. I'm getting hungry already. I'm getting hungry just listening to it. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
yo, you always was into cooking and like where did you discover this talent that you have?
To be honest, around the holidays, my mom would make me do all the cooking. Like not all the cooking, but like helping her. I was always there to help every holiday, and we had a big family always coming over. So that's how I learned how to make like big portions for big amounts of people. And what she didn't let me do was the desserts. So
Okay.
as I got older, I had that desire to learn how to make desserts. So I took that desire and I made it my own, and it just went through the roof. I think I sell more desserts than anything.
Wow. That's the thing, yo. So you definitely got a variety up there. Okay. So let me ask, what's some of the most popular ones right now?
Them loaded baked potatoes, just that's it. That's it. If I post that, it's going crazy. Everybody's gonna want it. I went from city to city after DY shouted me on the radio for weeks, just selling potatoes, and I was able to pay my rent. Like I was
Wow.
doing really good.
All right. Okay. You just flexed on them real quick. You said, okay. Okay. DY shouted you out on the radio, right? You went from
Yeah.
city to city, putting the grind in. You said
Mhm.
you paid your whole rent off of that.
Right.
So how did that feel? Because I'm pretty sure it's like, yo, to do something you love, that's something that you created and started, not working for somebody else, be able to pay your rent for your hard work. How did that feel?
It was definitely amazing. What I like most about it is I didn't even know I had a business mindset. It prompted me to want to learn how to budget. It prompted me to learn how to like take a little bit of money and make a lot.
Right.
So it's like I'm a money magnet. I just feel like a money magnet. Like I'm able to like budget, and I'm really good at saving. So it's like I was able to like promote myself with just my talent alone.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So let's talk about branding the company and stuff like that. Because like now, like you said, you're getting booked for catering events. You're getting booked for like Hot 97 events and stuff like that. So your
Oh
name
yeah.
is in the wind. They shout you
Right.
out on the radio. Like, how was it making that transition from okay, I'm doing this to make a little money to get my for my what was it, honeymoon?
Yeah, it was for my honeymoon at the time.
Okay, to paying your rent.
Yeah, the transition was different. It was like the only thing I can say about it is once it got on the radio, it was so much to take in. Like it was too much for one person. So I kind of like I fell behind with the orders. I'm not gonna lie. It was a period of time where I was like, I need a team, and I
Right,
couldn't find a team. So when people start saying, "Oh, she not doing it no more," it was just because the volume was way more than I could handle. And me being a perfectionist, I really wanted to do everything the right way.
right.
So I kind of been like ready to hire a team, but that's coming soon.
It's definitely coming soon. And that's the thing right there. Like you said, yo, you got a spirit of excellence, and I want to do it the right way. You could have just have stepped it, but it's like that's my name on the line, my brand. So you wanted to do it right. But let me tell you, over volume, that's a great thing for a business owner. So let me ask you, growing up, did you ever think that you would be a business owner?
I didn't. I never knew. Like I was always striving to try to work and be the best at my job that I worked at.
Right,
So I never knew I had an opportunity to be my own boss, let alone touch so many people's hearts and minds and put dinner on so many people's plates. It was a time period where I did a meal for the homeless every Thursday.
wow,
And it was people, it was crowdfunding. It was people on my page that would donate through Cash App, or, I was working with certain facilities that helped the people where I didn't even get to meet the people. It was not my judgment at all. I
right.
was just working with case managers that'll be like, hey, I got a family in need, can you cook? And I'll deliver it to them.
Yo,
So yeah,
and
it really got bigger than what I expected.
wow. And I know that's a great feeling right there. And now you got caseworkers saying, yo, here's a family in need. You always been a good person anyway. Like, let's throw that out there. You always been a genuine good person. But now you're helping families, you're giving back to the community and stuff like that. So it's like you said, it started with just a thought, like, yo, I need to come up with some extra money. And it's like you took the lunch, stepped out by
Mhm.
faith. You did it. It's like, and
Right.
now it's like the doors start opening up, the opportunities start coming. And now it's like you said, you're feeding the homeless. Again, it's like I want to help somebody else because they going without. You do that to now the caseworker's calling you saying, okay, I got a family that needs food. being able to facilitate that and know that, you just help the family out and stuff like that, that's rewarding in itself. But it's like, let's talk about that part real quick, because a lot of times people, they don't really understand, like, holidays come, like, it don't even have to be holidays, but like families that's going through, they need help. But it's like a lot of times we get so caught up in our day-to-day life, right, that it don't affect us the same way. So being there in the trenches and you meeting these people and you giving them the food, what's been some of your experiences from doing that?
I mean, if I had to go back to like the reason for why I wanted to help so bad is because when I was growing up, I was homeless at the age of 16. I'm 16, homeless, going to the soup kitchen and the Salvation Army, but they never had fresh food. It was always something that, was expired or I mean, I thank God for them places, don't get me wrong, because without them I wouldn't have ate nothing. But what I wanted to do was bring healthy meals to the people that can't afford it. I
Wow.
didn't want to give them nothing less than the highest quality possible. I take
Wow.
sanitation very seriously. I do big portions on my plate. Like I want everybody to eat like I eat.
Wow. And that's a beautiful thing right there. So do you get to interact with the people? Do you get to talk to some of these people?
Not really. But that's the beauty of it. Like it's no judgment on my end at all. So nobody has to worry about me being judgmental, counting their pockets, trying to see if they qualify to get a meal from me or anything like that. The way I had it set up was like I said, I was behind the scenes just cooking, doing what I love. So that was the reward in it for me.
Wow. And that's a beautiful thing right there. And that's making networks and connections. So let's talk about, you said you had caseworkers and stuff like that. How did you build those relationships when now they reaching out to you? Like, if I know somebody.
Well, shout out to Shamika. Shamika and Rico, they're like a powerful team. Their mom was the one that they linked me up with, but Rico was the one while he was behind bars helping with the cash app. Just he saw what I was doing and he was like, I want to pay you every week. And
Wow.
he communicated with his mom, which is the caseworker, and his business partner, Shamika. So we all started it like that. And then we just ventured off on Facebook and started asking for help with donations. And every dollar went to what we did.
Wow. And that's the thing right there. You said you wanted to give them healthy portions, you give them healthy meals, because a lot of times the stuff would be, this is from last night, or we're going to throw this away, we'll give it to, you wanted them to eat just like you. And that's the thing about it. It's like we should always look and treat others how we want to be treated. So it's like now you're doing that, right? You're helping
Right.
in the community. Your name is in the wind, right? So now you say you're going city to city. Let's talk about some of them experiences.
Oh yeah. I've been to different cities. I've been to Fayetteville, Sanford. I've been to Wilmington. I've been to, of course, Raleigh, Durham, Cary,
Right.
Goldsboro. Like people just really, really want what I have to offer. So I'm just everywhere. The whole thing about it was I rode the bus for 15 years. So when I got my car, I said, God, I just want to travel. And that's what happened. He made it so I could do that. And that's what I've been doing with hair and everything.
Wow. And that's the thing. That's the thing right there. So for the people that's looking from the outside in, and they say, okay, she got two businesses. It can't happen for me. She probably was born with a silver spoon, stuff like that. That's not the case. Because, like, if you paid your dues, you went through what you went through. You say you rode the bus for 15 years.
Hmm.
You said at 16, you was in a situation where it was like you didn't have a place to go at the time at 16.
Right.
And
So I am self made.
right from the ground up. So let me ask you real quick. At 16, being out there is a lot of dangers and stuff like that. A lot of stuff going on in the world. How did you stay focused? And how did you pull yourself up to where you are today?
That's where I was trying to celebrate the marriage I was in at the time. So it was like, I meet a guy, he seen me on the streets and he pretty much like picked me up and took me in. It wasn't the best, so we ended up splitting up, but that was my way out.
Ah,
That was my stability at the time. So
right.
yeah, I just kind of like learned things about life in that relationship. Whether it was healthy or not, I still learned a lot. And I just
Ah,
applied what I learned to this day.
and that's definitely real right there. So where do you want to take it? How big do you want to take the company? And what do you see for the future?
I'm inspired by tropical smoothie. Like the atmosphere when you walk in, it's like a tropical feeling. So I try to make my food look as exotic as possible. Like I want you to see the seasonings. I want you to see the colors. I want it to not touch. I want it. It's like a breath of fresh air. Like I want a restaurant where you could just walk in and feel at home, but feel like you're on an island at the same time. So if I had the money to back me, I would definitely have a restaurant.
Wow, and it's coming. That's the thing. So it's going to be an island thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Diamond SweetTreatz. Don't it sound like it?
It definitely sounds like it, yo. So it's gonna be a chain, or it's like they're gonna have to come to you, or you're gonna have them all over the world.
It's gonna be a food chain. I wanna make it a franchise where people can just make their own franchises. It gotta go global.
Right.
That's the whole part about it. It gotta be global. It's everybody gotta try what I have to offer.
Yeah, and that's definitely dope right there. So what's been the most challenging part about being a business owner, going from that to now you running a full blown business? What's been some of the challenges that you had to face so far?
The challenging is funding. It's like you want people to pay for the food, but you also gotta put in on the materials that go behind it.
Right,
And just without the amount of funding that I want, I feel like I can't feed as many homeless people as I want. Like, I was always thinking like if I just go out there to Moore Square Park and set up some pans, I'm gonna run out of food before I get to the last person, and it's gonna break my heart.
right,
That's the feeling I don't want to feel. I just want to have the money to do it all
right.
to serve everybody.
And that's real right there. The funding is always it always comes back to the funding because it's like it's needed. And again, you just said a powerful thing. It's like, okay, you fed 30 people. The 31 person, he's just as hungry as the first 30. He gets
Mhm.
and we don't have any more. I wouldn't want to be the 31 person, and I definitely wouldn't want to be the one serving to tell this person we ran out of food. So that's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
real. That's definitely real right there. So let me ask, like, as far as the viewers and people in the community, what can we do to help build that up? As far as like the funding, do you have like a cash app? Do you have something in place? Like, what's the way that you raising the funds now?
I do have Cash App. Um, of course, it's Delorsha is my Cash App. And I also have the Square account. So my Square account has like a little website where it's a donation option at the bottom. So if anybody would like to donate, I'll definitely send out the link.
Okay, yeah, definitely, and I'll put it in the description and in the comments after that thing. If you send it over, we definitely want to support that because it's needed. And again, it's like when we think about the homelessness and around the world, it's like a lot. And then even with the pandemic and stuff like that, where it's like people that were stable when the pandemic hit and COVID hit, a lot of people lost their stuff, but they didn't have anywhere to go. So it's like that's dope that you definitely concentrating on that and you giving back. So let me ask you, okay, at 16, you were in school at this time?
I had to drop out.
Okay, wow. So all right.
I
So
went
now
back and
life
got
is
my
good.
GED, and it only took me 2 months when I applied myself. That's all it took. I got my GED, and I started working, and then I ended up getting into college when I turned 19.
Wow. Now you're in college. All right, okay, let's take it back. I want to take it to the beginning because yo, it's real. You got some life lessons that you learned along the way. I'm pretty sure it can help somebody else. They see what you're doing now. You got the catering business, you're traveling, you're doing big things, right? So people see, oh, yo, Diamond SweetTreatz, Diamond SweetTreatz. But I'm sure it wasn't always that way. It's like,
Um,
once you're successful, now everybody's riding. But it's like in the beginning when you first starting out, it's like you may not get the same support. So let's talk about that. When you first started, was the support there, or did it take a while for people to catch on?
it was an instant attraction. People were, like I said, at the YMCA. It's like 500 employees, I believe,
Right.
and everybody had already loved my personality. Period. So when they found out what I was doing, they didn't even care what it looked like. I didn't have no pictures. I didn't have nothing to show them. It was just all love from the beginning. It's been like that to this day. When I started cooking food, I would post on Facebook, "Hey, I'm making chicken and waffles." I ain't had no picture, but I would see all the comments. It was like 50 comments, like, "I want it, I need it, I want it," and they never even seen what I had to do, what I had to offer. So I just appreciate everybody just showing that faith in me and giving me a chance because I really take pride in what I do. I really do.
Wow. And I heard the food is very good. Even Diamond Jules, the way he's rapping about it, and they got the pictures showing, it's just making my stomach rumble as I'm sitting here like, wow. Like, Yo, I should have did this face to face so we could have ate.
Oh God, I appreciate that though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I try
Right.
to really like make sure you can see all the love that's inside of each dish. That's the goal.
Wow. And that's the thing. So okay. So you always like cooking? You always enjoy cooking?
I love cooking. Like I could wake up at 5 in the morning, go grocery shopping, start cooking by 8, and cook till the sun go down, deliver my plates, and be like on a cycle where I do this every day. Like it would never feel like work to me. I don't care how long I stand up. I don't care if I don't eat. Most of the time, I go through this fasting period where I do not even eat when I'm cooking for people because I just take it that serious.
Right. Wow. You said a powerful word right there. You say you fasting while you cooking. Because
Oh
you want
yeah,
to
I'm always in a happy mood. I make sure I turn on the music that makes me happy. I got millions of gloves everywhere. It's very serious for me to push that quality that I would like for myself. So I just do everything in a certain way, in a certain order, but it's all about the people at the end of the day.
wow. And that's real right there. So let me ask, do you have a mentor or are you teaching yourself along the way or like how's that working?
I got a lot of people that's been helping me, like my friend Shonda, she helped me with candy apples. I got the owner's son at Jerk Masters. He'll tell me how to like push my product and be consistent. I got Devon at Capital Ford where I bought my truck. He tells me how to fix my credit. I got Chef Nasir. He sits on the phone with me for hours and teaches me how to like price point everything. And it's just a lot of support. I got Quincy. He'll bring me onto his catering gigs because he's a caterer. He'll use me as his assistant and I get hands-on training. Like I have a lot of mentors, a whole lot.
Wow. And that's real right there. And the thing about it is you have a good personality. Like we was talking about earlier, you show a lot of love to people. How important is networking in this industry?
It's definitely important for me. Like the drive can sometimes go away. It's been times where I feel like, man, I can't do this. And I get a call for somebody like, hey, you got that plate for me? And I just feel like, I'm gonna get you that plate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because before I won't doing nothing or I gave up or whatever my reasons was at the time. But that motivation is powerful, like, and it lasts a long time. It's a lasting impression.
Wow. Okay. All right. So what can people expect later? Like, are you gonna add more things to the menu? Like, what type of things you got cooking up in your mind, or you think you're gonna stay where you are right now?
The first idea I had was a food truck just because, they always say the restaurant business is a lot to take on by yourself.
Right.
But I don't even want to take that step. I want the restaurant,
Right.
period. I don't even want a food truck. I want people to have a place to eat. Like I grew up with four siblings. We all sat at our table and ate together. That's
Wow.
what I want.
Right. And that's the thing. That family sitting down together, that interaction, that fellowship is what we call it. So it's
Hmm.
like that's definitely dope right there. And like you said, so you already see it. So you visualizing it. You already know like this is how it's gonna be when they walk in. This is gonna be the atmosphere. And that's dope right there. So put me in your mind right quick, right? As you're sitting there, right? And you're brainstorming, you're coming up with these ideas. What's going through your head and how do you get in your zone when you're being creative?
Like I said, it's music. So you already know I started out doing music. So I put on a certain song and it's just going from there. It's just gonna always be like music is my motivation.
Wow.
It
And that's
is the motivation for my creativity, in other words.
okay. And that's dope. So let's take it to the beginning, back to the beginning, because music was the introduction, right? So how
Oh
did you
yeah.
first fall in love with music?
I fell in love with the rap game. It
Right,
was just something about Twister that I liked. He could rap really fast and you could understand him. So
right.
he was a really big influence on me. I started trying to rap fast. Don't judge me, y'all, but I was like, yeah, he was one of my biggest influences in the rap game.
Wow. So you got influence around what age was this?
I was 10 years old when I made my first rhyme, and I probably was introduced to Twister at like 12.
Wow. So you actually met him.
No, not introduced to
Oh,
like him
okay.
personally, but I wish. But
Right.
yeah, to his music, I think I was 12 when I first heard something from him. But of
Okay.
course, Lil Wayne was the big influence. Lauryn Hill, I loved Lauryn Hill.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
we grew up on Bow Wow and B2K, so let's not forget to shout them out. Cause
Right. People try to get too grown now, like they act like they don't remember.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, we
yeah,
remember. Yeah, we
of
definitely
course.
remember. Okay, so
But
let's talk about.
Monica was like my biggest influence when it came to singing. Like Monica was that
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I still got big love for Monica to this day. She's in my top three. Definitely.
Right.
Salute to Monica. So let's talk about it in the beginning. So like, yeah, what was that experience like? So it's like you come up with songs. Were you freestyling? Were you writing songs? Like, how did you first get into music?
I was definitely writing. So I had to write because I was going through a lot at my age.
Right.
I was definitely going through a lot of stuff. So I had to write and get it all out.
And that's real. So did you instantly start with rap or did you start with poetry first? Like, how did you develop your writing style?
I started with poetry. I think a
Okay.
lot of people did in school. That's what they teach you, if
Right.
anything, when it come down to like music class or something. So yeah, I wrote my little poems to my friends or something like that, or my little crush in school. You write them a little roses are red
Right.
type poem. But yeah, I just went from there and I started figuring out how words rhyme. So the dictionary came into play, and I just like I'm gonna make this make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So at what age did you know? Because I'm pretty sure when you first started, it's like some things, it's like, I know when I first started writing, there's certain things I don't even want to look at. Like, yeah, that was trash. It took me a while to get myself together. When did you know, like, yeah, you know what, I got some skills? Like, how long in did you realize, like, yeah, you know what, I'm pretty nice when it comes to this rap?
It wasn't until I was introduced to Samaj. He made the
Magic,
label
Magic.
Dysfunctional Family.
Salute to the
Of course.
dysfunctional. I ain't heard his name in a while. Salute to
Yeah,
Magic
like
Mike. All right.
oh yeah. So I didn't really know him like that. He just was at Moore Square and he was like, if you can pronounce my whole government name, I give you $1,000 right now. And I was like, I can't, because his name is like the longest name in the world.
Right.
So basically he was like, do you do music? I said, yeah. He was like, come to my studio. Man, I went up there and I sang and he recorded me. And I had like Cam the perfect voice on my track.
Right.
And some other people was in the studio and we was collaborating. Like if you know A Cash,
I know
he
it,
made
guys.
the beats. Oh yeah. So we had a pretty solid team. J Menace, she
J
was a dope
Menace.
rapper.
Salute to J Menace.
Oh yeah. We had a lot of people in that clique that made music. Joe De Niro, rest in peace.
Rest
You
in peace,
know.
Joe De Niro.
That's when I found out like how much I love music and the support was there. So I just kind of like ran with
Yeah. So all right, we can't just bring Maji and dysfunctional family up here and just run through it quick like that. Because
it. Right,
yeah,
right.
this man, right? I know Maji for a while as well. Maji had a full blown label. And it was like when we talk about studio, we talk about 15, 20 people in the place. And it's like he's just recording all day, all day. And I would go over
Mhm.
there sometimes and he would just have songs after songs after songs after songs. So he constantly was recording. So I'm pretty sure you learned a lot from being over there. What's some of the things that stood out the most?
That we fight. Like during like when you see the finished product, you don't get to see what happens behind the scenes. Man, everybody, we argue, we fight, we hungry, we need this, we need that, we gotta survive, but we just kept it together. Like everything we dealt with was together. So what I learned was never to fold, never to flake, no matter what. You
And you're
still got
around,
your talent at the end of the day.
right? And that's the thing. And you're around some talented people. A Cash, J Menace, a lot of them still doing music now. So how does it feel? You know, starting out with them and seeing how far they've come, knowing like, yo, we was in the ring together in the beginning. And how does that feel?
It kind of like it's a damper in the mood when you can't see them like that. I mean, we probably could link up, but after Joe died, everybody kind of separated, and
Right,
we haven't seen each other since. So I would like to get us all back together just for old time's sake. That'll be nice. But it ain't
right,
no hate, it ain't no animosity, it ain't no jealousy at all.
right, right. And that's dope right there. Salute to Maji. I think he's in the Philippines right now. So salute to
Yes,
him out there.
sir.
Yo,
Hey,
okay.
my G.
All right. So all right. So let's talk about it. You say the first song you had the perfect voice on it.
hmm
All right. What was the song? Do you remember?
It's called Loving You Anyway.
Loving You Anyway. And you singing or rapping on the song?
I was singing.
You singing on this. Okay. So you singing on the song. It's called Loving You Anyway.
Yeah.
You recorded. You get the CD. What was the reception you got to the record once you recorded it?
Don't ask me that, sign, because the computer crashed and I ain't got my music. Okay, so okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it never got exposure, you know.
Wow, wow,
So a lot of songs I did and recorded, I don't think nobody's heard.
wow.
That's what deterred me from pursuing it further. All that music got lost, and it wasn't Maji's fault. It was just the MacBook he had or something. But everybody's music got lost, and it was like, oh man, nobody heard me.
Right. Wow.
So
So
D Jules has offered to get me back in the studio, and A Cash is recording. So
right.
we might see. You never know.
You might as well jump out there, throw your hat out there. You've been doing it, so you might as well. And that's definitely two good people right there. ACAS definitely dope with the mix and the engineering. Dope artists and D Jules as well. That's both my family right there. So salute the Gam Fam TV. Salute the
Okay.
ACAS.
Hey.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's dope right there. So that would be a good look, right? So now you're doing the music, right? The computer
Mhm.
crashes. Let's walk it up. So the computer crashes. Now it's like, okay, boom, all your hard work. Like, okay, now we got to start over. You said that kind of deterred you. So what happened next? Because like I know you were excited, like, yeah, we about to do it. We recording, we in the studio. So now that's kind of like a life changer. What happened after that?
After that, I started doing hair.
Start doing hair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then when you first started, what type of styles was you doing?
Box braids, Senegalese twist, kinky twist, cornrows, Havana twist, all them old school styles.
Right. And
That's what I was doing.
did you already know how to do it, or did you learn along the way, or were you practicing on your hair, your friend's hair? How did you first get started?
I had two sisters, so of course, we did our hair at home, and then I went to college. I went to Millamont College and started out there, and then I ended up working at Mama African Braids when I was 19. That
Wow.
was on East Martin Street. So, after that, I just pretty much said I'll just do it myself instead of paying somebody else booth rent.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense right there. Salute to Millamont, because I actually went to Millamont Cosmetology as well. Salute
I
to
remember
Millamont.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
salute to
I was like,
Millamont.
you need to do my hair.
Wow. Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I would have stuck with it. Yeah, I put it down, and it's been hard to pick it back up ever since. So yeah,
It's
but
all right. Do what you love.
that's a fact right there. So it's like again, that's that entrepreneurship. So it's like, yo, instead of paying booth rent, I can
Hmm.
do this on my own. So
Right.
you leave the booth, right? You start doing it on your own. How was that like?
Amazing. When I tell you I had money on my dresser every night, I had money on my dresser every night. Like money was no problem ever.
Right,
To this day, I'm not gonna say money's no problem, but I know how to get money. Like it's just I generate income.
right,
You know what I'm saying? If I do fall on hard times, it don't last long. My
right.
mind is always channeling some way to provide and to serve people. So it's gonna always generate money.
Wow. And that's a dope thing right there. So let me ask, right? They say some of the greatest people go through some of the hardest times, right? So being
Mhm.
through some of the things that you went through, do you think that gave you that pep in your step? Like, yo, life ain't a game, I gotta get it? Or do you think it was just natural? It was just already in you?
It was always life lessons that taught me what I know now. So I'm not gonna say I just had that in me, but
Right,
yeah, I really was like paying attention. I had to pay attention to what other people was going through so I wouldn't have to go through the same thing, or I went through something, but I feel like I grew up with a lot of discipline.
right,
So I used that to my advantage. Instead of me being out here at the club, I'm over here braiding hair, you know. So
right,
I made those types of decisions because I grew up with so much discipline. It was like easy for me to be an entrepreneur.
right. And that's dope right there. We got Madam Trauma in the comments for you.
Hey,
Salute to
boo,
Madam Trauma.
that's my
Salute.
sister. Hey, girl,
Yeah, so trauma's dope. Yeah, I love trauma. Yeah, that's big
trauma
people.
time.
Salute. Yeah, that's dope right there. So, okay, you're doing the hair now, right? You started
Right.
with the braids and stuff like that. How did you brand yourself and get your name out there to build your business up?
You want to know something? Craigslist was the key because I never had a business card for braiding. I've never had a flyer. I never had a website.
Wow.
It was just word of mouth. It was like it was natural. It was like people just wanted their hair done, and I had pictures, so it just went from there. But Craigslist is where I solely promoted for like 2 years. And then I eventually ventured off on Facebook and made a Facebook page for it.
Wow.
So, but like even to this day, I still got the same clientele.
Wow. So okay. All right. There's two different hats, and you blossoming in both atmospheres. So it's like the same way you said it's just organic. I threw it out there. I'm doing here, and they came. A lot of
Mhm.
times we talk ourselves out of ideas. It's like, yo, I want to do this, but I don't know how to get started. It's like, yo, you know what? I can be paying this booth rent. I can do it on my own. A lot of people would be afraid. What's gonna happen next? Yo, if I go out here, what's gonna happen? You didn't do that. You said, yo, I'm about to do it on my own. You jumped out there, and now it's like, yo, people calling, right? And like you said, yo, it's word of mouth and Craigslist and stuff like that. So again, you're doing it by faith. Phone starts blowing up. Now every night you got money on the dresser. You got clientele and stuff like that. What was some of the most best memories looking back at that time for you today?
I think for me, it's meeting new people because I grew up in 14 foster homes, 4 group homes. So I know how to adapt. And everywhere I go, people just let me fit in. I eat dinner with these people. Like we go on trips. My hair clients and I, we have sleepovers. We stay in contact. We on
Right,
each other's Facebook pages, Instagrams. Like I'm just always welcomed wherever I go. I can just go in their house and go to the refrigerator and eat like I'm one of the residents. Take my
right.
shoes off, take a nap. It's just a family type vibe.
Wow. And that's real right there. And you keep dropping these jewels on me. I be trying to bypass them, but you keep taking me back. Yeah, you keep dropping these jewels. 14 group homes?
14 group homes. No, 14 foster homes, 4 group homes. So from the age of 5 to 10, I was in foster care.
Wow. Okay. For the people that's watching, right? Without giving all your personal business up, right? We're just talking about the
Mm.
system as a whole. I don't want to get in your personal stuff, but it's the system as a whole, right? What is that like when we talk about the foster care and then we talk about group homes? What actually goes on? Because I hear some people say it was all right, and I hear some people say it was a nightmare. On your experiences, what's your view on
Let me tell y'all, it's a difference between foster homes and group homes. Foster homes are not structured. And in my experience, birthdays don't matter. Your feelings don't matter.
it?
Your
Wow.
family ain't there, so they can do whatever they want. Them group homes be lit. We go to football games, basketball games. We go to carnivals. We do arts and crafts. It's like a lot of structure and it's a lot of support. You get therapy. It's a difference. So if I had the chance to be a foster parent, I would change the game
Right.
because it should be like that for those kids. It shouldn't be like, oh, you just here because you a check for my
Right.
household.
Right.
They picking you with a black family because you're black, but these
Right.
people don't, really care about you. So in my experience, I would never want any child in a foster home. Just
Wow.
do right by your kids. That's
Right.
my advice.
And that's real right there. And that's one of the things that I heard right there is like sometimes the kids get into the foster system and it's like, and the parents, they look at, well, the foster parents, they look at it as a check. So a lot of times it's like, sometimes it may be one bad situation into a worse situation, if that makes sense. Where it's like, the
Mhm.
family might get caught up, CPS get involved or whatever the case may be. But the family is not putting the child in a constant abuse or danger. It's just the situation or the environment. They may say, we got a problem with that. So now they move the kid, right? Now they put the kid
Mhm.
in the foster care. Now the kid is getting abused or the kid is getting, physically abused or sexually molested and stuff like that. So have you seen instances where it's like a kid comes from one family, they want to be with their family. They move them, put them with another family, and the family is doing them foul.
That was me. I was that child.
Wow.
So me and 3 of my siblings, we went. But over time, we got split into different places. So, like, first it was me, my sister, and my brother. Then it was just me and my brother. My
Right.
sister was about to get adopted at a young age. She was like 1 year old. So her family loved her that she had, and they was gonna adopt her. But me and my brother was so out of control because we wanted our mom that
Right.
they split us up because they felt like we would feed off of each other. And once we got split up, it was them nights where you get beat in your sleep. It's them nights where you get blamed for everything that goes on in the house. It's a lot of stuff. So it prompted me. if I can turn this negative into a positive, it prompted me to want a family and to do right by a family and to celebrate those birthdays and get the clothes that I want and get my daughter the clothes that she want. Like I
Right,
just want to do things the right way because I didn't grow up with that.
right. So if you had to be the voice, right, for the people watching, for these people that
Mhm.
never been through nothing, are they sitting there with their opinions, but never been through the system, right? Going through that, turning it around, surviving. Even Trauma put that in there, strong survivor in the comments.
Thank you, girl. I can't see her comments, but thank
Uh,
you.
they coming right now. I'm about to put them. She
Okay.
said facts. She said facts and strong. You're a survivor.
Next.
So if you had to be the voice, right, for the children that's in these environments, right, you had to bring awareness to the people as a whole so we can know what's going on. In a sense, like you had to blow the whistle, tear the roof off so we can look in and see what's really going on. What would you say to America, to the people?
I would say this: every child want their mama, every child want their daddy. So if that child going through something at home, I don't feel like snatching them kids up and taking them to a strange place is gonna help. That's very traumatic. I say maybe you should get some sort of intervention going at the house, but I don't think you should strip them kids from their parents. It's very, very heartbreaking and it's a lot to deal with. You gotta always try to fit in, and you never know when you're gonna fit in, if you ever gonna fit in. So that's just a lot of trauma for a child, and I just think everybody should be where they come from, their family.
Right. Right. So now you went through 14 different families, right? Out of the
hmm
14, were they all bad? Out of the 14.
I would say half of them was just I had to get moved out. As soon as something happened, I would tell my caseworker to move me. Like it was seven of them back to back, where I was just like, I can't be here.
Right.
But the other seven weren't that bad, but it was just like, you're not supposed to be there,
Right.
It
Right.
just never was a family vibe. I never had like a good foster family.
Wow. Wow. And that's heartbreaking right there, hearing you say that. Let me ask you, so in these families, were you like the only one adopted, or was it like some houses where they may have six, seven, eight foster kids? Or was it like just you, or did they have other foster kids as well?
It was always other kids. I never been in a house where I was the only one, but I never got adopted.
Right.
So it was always gonna be some sort of transition in that would happen for me. I might go to sleep at one house and wake up at the next, and you never know. So it's just I was always surrounded by other kids, and they wouldn't like you. You in their
Right.
space, you in their house. They just didn't like you.
Wow. So I know a lot of people say that, a lot of foster parents, they're in it for the money. Did you experience that when you was in some of these houses?
I didn't even know that that was going on. Like, I didn't know that they were funded by a check from me. I never even knew till I got older of age. But
Wow.
yeah, looking back on it, I already know what I was there for. It wasn't for love and care as they advertised.
Wow. And that's the thing. So if we could change the system, right? If we could, just by talking right now, if we could change the system, what's some things that needs to be fixed? Because that's a broken system, kind of like the prison system as well. What type of things could we do to change the system to hold them more accountable, to make it more safer for the kids?
There's got to be some regular routine investigations, some pop-ups at the houses, some support like around the clock or something. Cause being with these people unsupervised, you never know what they're doing to them children. You
Right.
just never know.
Wow. And again, I don't want to stay here too long because I know that was traumatic for you. Right. And it's like, sometimes it's like just the memories is like, oh, wow, it's just too much. So let me ask, okay, so now you go through that, right? How did you stay focused? I know you said in the beginning you was angry. You kind of rebelled a little bit, like, yo, this ain't it. How did you survive and keep your mind where that didn't overtake you to the point where it broke your spirit? How did you maintain?
Well, my focus was to get back to my mom, and I knew I would get back to my mom one day. So that was the main thing. And the second thing is, I didn't let none of those situations make me bitter. It never made me change towards people. Like, I love people to this day. I really don't have too many issues with people. Like, everybody loves me. I don't have no enemies or nothing.
Right.
It's just like, what I learned is you never know what a person thinking. You come in the next space, I mean, they not comfortable. I mean, a level of comfort for me is everything for me.
Right.
So if you're looking at things from a different perspective, you got to understand their level of comfortability is different. So it's just you have to have understanding through all situations, and you'll go far.
Wow. And that's real right there. And the thing is, like, I'm sad to hear that you went through that. But I see your strength and knowing you. You're a loving person. You're a fun person. You're always smiling. You just seem like so happy, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you've been through some things that can help other people, and it's like you turn them situations around to victory. You use that as motivation, right? So okay, let's fast forward. So you're doing the music. You stop for a minute. You start doing the hair, right?
Mhm.
Around this time, what's going through your mind? Like, are you secure now? Are you still in the system? What's going on outside of work?
I don't know. I got out the system when I was 10 years old, so I started doing hair when I was 19.
Okay,
I was in a relationship with my ex-husband, so I was the most stable I had been in my teenage life.
right,
So I was in a very good place when I
okay,
was doing hair.
all right. So now you're getting the love, people embracing you in. It's like almost like yo, it's like almost like you see somebody down, and it's like yeah, you just want to give them a hug and make their day better. It's like you bring that to the world. So like now you meeting these people, and like you said, you're in their houses, you're taking your shoes off, you're comfortable. But a
Mhm.
lot of these people don't know what you've been through. A lot of these
Yeah.
people they don't see that. And it's like, and you're not one of these people like, yo, oh, feel sorry for me, pity me. It's like you always kept it moving. You always put one foot in front of the other. And it's like that's just who you are. It's like, yo, you're just strong. And it's like, yo, you know what? I'm going through some things, but I'm gonna get through
Right.
it. And it's like, and you've been doing that consistently over the years. So to look back over your life, right, to where you are now, if you had to go back and talk to the younger you at 10 years old, what would you say to yourself?
I would say what I went through wasn't my fault. I internalized a lot of pain in those years, and I thought everything was my fault. Being molested was my fault. I just felt like everything was my fault. Me and my siblings getting taken away was my fault. So if I had to go back to that age and say something to myself, I would say, baby, that was not your fault.
Right,
And you know what? You're still a beautiful person.
right.
I would definitely say that to myself.
Wow. So let's bump it up to 15. If you had to talk to the 15-year-old Diamond, what would you say to her?
I would say, look, don't be trying to get in no relationship or nothing like that.
Right.
Don't be following the crowd. Don't be listening to your friends. Don't do it. Just do what's best for you and only you. That's what I would say.
All right. So now let's bump it up to the 20-year-old Diamond because like we grow, we evolve. There's different phases of our lives. So what would you say to the 20-year-old Diamond?
I would tell her, do not. I would tell her, do not rush anything and never settle. Ever.
Right.
Ever,
Right.
ever, ever. Don't give up on love. Don't think that you can't find nobody. Don't ever settle. Because you're going to waste a long time settling.
Wow. Okay. So now looking back, right, to who you are now, right? How do you
Hmm.
feel as a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like every situation tried to block you. Like you was dealt a bad hand. Two businesses later, beautiful family, beautiful smile, right? How does that feel knowing all the hell I went through? I deserve heaven. And it may not be everything that you want. You get what I'm saying? It's like sometimes it's like you gotta go to get to the other side. You may not be where you want to be, but you came a damn long way from where you were. So how does that feel? Knowing like, yo, I did this on my own.
I'm just grateful. I'm just really grateful. Like, I can't be bitter. Why? I could be dead right now. I was supposed to be dead when I was pregnant. You
Wow.
know, I was supposed to lose my child. I had a miscarriage after I had her, but I was supposed to lose that child because I was malnutritioned and everything. Like, I have so much to be grateful for. There's no reason to turn back and be like, oh, well, I shouldn't have never did this or did that. Yeah, I was 16 and pregnant, but guess what? My daughter is everything to me. Without
Yeah.
her, I wouldn't have made it this far, period. That motivation is her.
Wow.
So Yeah, I'm just grateful for everything. If I had to sum it all up, because it could have been worse. I've heard stories that's worse than mine, so I'm just grateful.
Right. And that's the thing right there. It's like you have power over the situation doesn't have power over you. Right. So let
Hmm.
me ask. Now you start the businesses, right? So you're doing the hair, you're doing catering, right? The
Hmm.
pandemic hits. Did it affect your business any?
Both of them. For the first 6 months, I didn't know catering,
Wow.
anything. I was too scared. I know I was born premature, so I didn't want my immune system compromised. So I just was like, I'm not going out the house. I worked a dead end job, making like $10 an hour, 9 hours a week.
Right.
And that was just gas money. So I was like working for nothing. But yeah, that hair money was gone, the catering money was gone. I was struggling. Really
Okay.
was. So when they didn't see me on the internet, it's because I ain't have it. I ain't had the money to fund myself. It's
Right.
pretty much in a bad spot when the coronavirus hit.
Wow. Okay. So you're going through that, right? You go through that. How did you bounce back? Because that obviously you're taking off now. So that you didn't let that stop you, just like anything else. It's like, okay, it's an obstacle, but I'm gonna get over it. So how did you get past it?
It was such a demand for people to get their hair done for some reason. They just kept hitting me up like, "Yeah, I need you." And it's regular clients. So I'm not about to leave my regular clients hanging. So I just started back working like, look, I bought a thermometer gun, I bought my mask, and I said, I'm going. All
Wow.
that fear, I never really grew up with fear. Like even when I was homeless, I would walk the streets with no fear. I never really feared people.
Right.
So for me to be grown fearing people, that's not me. And I felt like it was something wrong with that picture. So I just went out there and did what I love and I was able to bounce back from it.
Wow. Okay. You just said a real thing right there. You say you walked around with no fear. Let me ask you, okay, because you were in a situation that was out of your control, right? A
Hmm.
lot of times it's like, people they with the wrong crowd or different situations or the street life seems cool to them, right? Let's talk
Hmm.
about the dangers of being in the streets. Some of the things like especially being a female, you got human trafficking, you got pimps, you got all types of stuff, domestic situations and stuff like that. So like for the young women that's watching, what advice would you give them about the dangers that's out there?
The only dangerous thing I really went through was just being with my friends and they were with the wrong crowd and then a situation would occur. But I never had pimps.
Right,
I never had nobody beat me. I've never been in a domestic violence relationship. I was fortunate, honestly, because I never popped pills. I never did any drugs. I never did anything, no cocaine. I don't know nothing about it. Like to this
right,
day, even though I went through all of that and people influenced it and they just try to put it in my face. Like I said, I grew up with so much discipline. My mom said, don't just be out here doing anything. You never know what is happening, who slipped something you drinking. Drinking wasn't my thing. I just go through life sober.
right,
Like to this day, I don't even smoke weed. So I mean, I'm just fortunate enough because I think drugs really distort people's decision making skills.
right,
Not all drugs, but certain drugs, just you lose control and you end up with the wrong crowd, and things can happen to you. And I just didn't want to be that person, being the fat things happened to me at a young age that I couldn't control prior to me being an adult. So I just, stayed away from that type of stuff.
right. Okay. What about the person that's watching, right? They're in a hard spot. They may not see the out. They got dreams, right? What would you say to that person?
I believe in God. I don't know about y'all, but to this day, can't nobody change my faith. I know when I prayed, it happened. I know when I needed God, He was there. I know when I felt alone, He was still with me. So if you feeling lonely or you feeling scared and you don't think you can make it, just know that you're not by yourself. You're always with somebody, and that's God. So take Him serious.
Right.
Just give Him a little bit of affection, He'll give it back.
Wow. And that's real right there. And I'm gonna tell you real transparent. I'm gonna be real transparent with you real quick, right? I remember there was
Mhm.
a time where I used to come up to your job, right? And I'd be on the
Yeah.
internet and I'd be working on the business or whatever, but I'd be in your job. And it was like, and you would always be like, yo, what up, Sion? And you didn't know what I was going through. But like I was in a low spot in my career, low spot in life. And it was around that time I felt like giving up. I was facing a little depression and stuff like that. But it was like every time I would come to your job, you would always be like, yo, Si, what up? You'd be smiling, you would bust it up. You never knew what I was going through. But you always encouraged me when I was going through what I went through. And that meant a lot because it's like sometimes that smile or somebody giving you that encouraging word, they give you the strength to keep going. And it was like around that time I felt like giving up, like, yo, I don't know how I'm going to get through the situation I was going through, but I would find strength. So it was like certain days I would go up there and I'd be looking for you. And it's like, yeah, what up, Si? And it's like you would talk me through without even knowing that you was encouraging me. So it was like, yo, I salute you for what you've been through and where you're going. She'll be right back. She's having some battery issues with the phone, but she'll see it on the playback. But it was like, it was in those moments where you encouraged me to keep going in my lowest moments. And it's like, you don't really find too many real people like that. And it's like over the years, that was about 10 years ago. We always stayed close since then. But it's like to see your growth, to see you evolve into who you've become. That's really inspiring. Then for you to come up here and you tell people your story and share some things that people might not have knew about you. And it's like, but to see you still smile, all they ever see is that happy personality, that smile, that good person. It's like, it's just a testament that what we're going through is not our end. It's like we may be going through the tunnel when it looks dark, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So it's like for those that's in the area, support her business. You can go follow her on Facebook. She got the Diamin SweetTreatz page. Like she says, she's trying to feed the homeless and stuff like that. So like if you like to donate, you know, so that they can buy food and they can buy resources and stuff like that to help the movement, I would definitely encourage y'all to do that. She said you can find the information on the page right here, the Diamin SweetTreatz Facebook page. And she has a square set up that you can actually make donations, or you can hit on the Cash App. And it's like things like that when people out here, they're trying to help other people and they're following their dreams, but it's not about them. She says, yo, I want to be able to go to the Moore Square and places like that and feed all the homeless. A fear of mine is, you know, feeding people and then I run out of food and then I have to look at a person and say, I don't have enough. It's like we need more people like that in the world where it's not about us, but it's like, how can I help somebody else in this world? So I definitely salute Diamin for always being solid, for always being real. And it's like, even though what she been through, she didn't let her situation determine who she was as a person. And it's like those type of people are the ones that we have to celebrate. So like if you're in the area and you know her, it's like you don't hear her name come up much. You don't hear people give her the props that she deserves. But it's like good people are hard to find. And it's like when you find good people like that, you should lift them up. When you find good-hearted people that's living on purpose, you should always celebrate them. And again, I just want to salute Diamin again for success on her businesses, for not giving up, for not allowing life to make her bitter, for not allowing circumstances and situations to make her throw in the towel, but to overcome it and not be a victim and not, you know, look for somebody to feel sorry for her. She's always stood on her own too. She's always the first to encourage. She's always loving. And that's real, and you don't find that. So I definitely salute her. We're going to jump to the video right quick. I know she was saying she's trying to charge her phone right quick. So we're going to jump to her commercial. And again, if y'all haven't, go like the Facebook page. Go support what she's doing because it's definitely needed in our community. And we'll be right back.
She got them treats. Diamin, yeah, she got them treats. Diamin, yeah, she got them treats. What she got, bro, put me on. Diamin, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamin, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamin, yeah, she got them sweets. What she got, bro, put me on. She got cupcakes, smash cakes, candle apple. She got brownies. Make mine with a walnut style, please. Diamin, yeah, she got them treats. You gon' hear it all over this beat. She got them treats. Strawberries with the chocolate drip. Chocolate pretzel sticks. Yeah, she got the sweets. Diamin, yeah, she got the eats. Chicken and steaks. Diamin, yeah, she got the eats. Shrimp, loaded potatoes. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. The wing platters got halo. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. Diamond, yeah, she got them eats. Loaded chili cheese fries, quesadillas, veggie burgers, turkey burgers, cheeseburgers, she'll serve them up. The chicken and waffles is clutch. Diamond, yeah, she got the touch. The club sandwich is cold cut. The salad with the fruit and grilled chicken got it sold up. Diamond, yeah, she got the eats. 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 Loaded Alfredo, curry fried chicken. I heard your steak and cheese sub was a thing of fiction. Unreal. Diamond, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamond, yeah, she got them treats. Diamond, yeah, she got them eats. Yeah. Diamond, yeah, she got them sweets. Diamond, yeah, she got them treats. Diamond, yeah, she got them eats. Yeah.
To place your order, call 919-780-2240. 919-780-2240. 919-780-2240. Diamin SweetTreatz. Call my mother, she'll hook you up.
Podcast show. Y'all already know what it is. We was chatting with Diamin SweetTreatz in the building. For those that might not be familiar, be sure to check out her social media. Hopefully we'll get her back on the show. She had a phone issue right quick. So definitely check out her Facebook page, the Diamin SweetTreatz. And then you can follow her on Instagram at Diamin_SweetTreatz. And again, it's like, yo, she got a heart for the community. She's feeding the homeless. Great food, great person, great story. It was definitely a pleasure having her on the show. We're gonna give her a few moments. Hopefully she'll get back up here. If not, what'll happen is we'll reschedule and we'll bring her back on. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Definitely dope story. Not only is she a caterer, she does hair and stuff like that. Does a lot for the community, a lot behind the scenes, a lot of support. Definitely dope, strong woman that I got a lot of love for. Like I was saying earlier, it was a time in my life where I was going through a dark time, and she was there for me. She didn't know I was going through a depression or what I was going through. She just know that Sion, he from Team Collective, yo, he's cool, bop, bop, bop. So I would come in, and she would always encourage me in a time where it was like I was really, really at a hard spot in life where it was like almost at the end of my rope, if that makes sense, without going into deep. And it was like, and it was just the smile and the fact that she believed in me and the encouraging words that she would say is like, yo, you great, yo, you talented, you can make it, even when I didn't feel that way myself. And there was a lot of times where it's like I felt like giving up. A lot of people had turned their back on me. A lot of people was knifing me in the back. And she was always real. It's like even when people that you thought was solid, it's like sometimes you can go through a situation and even the people that you thought would ride for you, they be the first ones to go. They be the first ones to leave. So knowing me and her were just Facebook friends at the time. So the fact that when everybody that I loved and everybody I thought was my crew was turning their back on me, she was the one there hugging on me, showing me love, saying, yo, you know what? You're going to get through it. Keep going. You know what I mean? And it was like, I found myself where it's like in them times where it's like I would go up there and I just needed that encouraging word because it's like sometimes in this industry, life, things happen, death, all types of things. It can have you feeling like you're not worthy or you don't deserve the reward or, it's not going to happen for me. And it was like something about Diamond. It was like something about her smile. She went and made a post, said, yo, I ran into Sion and, I won't go into everything she wrote in the post, but it gave me life. It gave me another fresh air or breath of fresh air or the strength to keep going to the next level. So I say all that to say, when you find good people, because it's really hard to find good people in this world, hold on to them because none of us know our last day. None of us know when the last time we'll talk to somebody again. So I salute Diamond, and she don't even know this. Hopefully she'll see it on the playback. It's like when I really felt like throwing in the towel and giving up, she was one of the main reasons or one of the people that was in my corner saying you can do it. So 10 years later, to be in a better space now and to have her on my platform and to be able to celebrate her is bigger than y'all would even know. So it's like, Diamond, if you watch the playback or somebody that know her, let her know. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep encouraging people. Keep being you. People get strength from your smile. We get strength from just your personality, just being around, just being an all-around good person. So I definitely wanted to say that on the platform to your people that's watching and let y'all know y'all got a jewel. Like if you her family, her friend, you got a jewel because she's a selfless person. She puts other people before her. And you don't find that in 2021 too often. It's like, you go through things and it makes you bitter and you become angry. I've never seen her out of character. I've never seen her not smiling. I've never seen her not encouraging somebody else. So city, yo, Raleigh as a whole, the city, yo, let's support our people, man. Let's lift them up and let's celebrate what they doing because it's like she's trying to do something bigger than what we even know. When we're talking about feeding the homeless and giving back to the community, yo, that's real life. That's real life. And it's like we need that in the community. We definitely need that because it's real. And if you don't have that, it's like what happens to the people out there that's going through, that's struggling, that's in situations that they didn't ask to be in, or life might have threw them a hand. She's living proof that no matter what you go through, you can still be great. She didn't let her past determine her future. She said she went from working a job to owning her own business. She didn't know how I'm gonna get the resources. She didn't know where the customers was gonna come from. But she stepped out on faith. And God's been opening doors for her. And I know he'll continue to open doors for her. And yo, Raleigh, yo, we gotta do better about celebrating our people. Because there's a lot of people out here that's just out for self. She's not one of them. She's not one of them. And that's real, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just being transparent because like she didn't do it. Tell me the things that she did because she knew I was hurting. She didn't know that I was ready to give up. She didn't know I'm thinking about committing suicide. She didn't know I felt unworthy. She didn't know that life was getting the best of me. But what she did know is there's a purpose for you. Keep going. And I thank you for that, yo. And again, wow, salute to you. Salute to you for real. And I mean that from the heart because it's like those words, they help me. They helped me in a real tough time, not even knowing that you have been through things that I never even dreamed about. So to hear your story, it really touches my heart in a way like even going through all of that, you still encouraging other people. You're still chasing your dreams. And a lot of times it's like people look from the outside in and they have all these opinions and they don't know the reason behind why a person moves the way they move. So when I hear you say, yo, you went through certain things, I understand a little bit more why you have empathy for other people. Because based on the stats, the average person would have threw their hand up and gave up. They would have threw their hand in and gave up. But through that, you rose above it and you still rising. And I know it's nothing but greatness ahead for you. And I thank everybody for tuning in. I thank you for coming up here. We definitely going to have to get you back up here again so we can finish this. Wow. Wow. Definitely in a better place now. And it's like, we can't go back. And it's like, your smile and the words, yo, over the years, like I said, I can't even express how much that meant to me. And it's like, a lot of times we don't put it out because we don't want to be looked at like somebody feeling sorry for you or, you know, you weak. But it's like knowing that you genuinely seen something like, yo, you know what? Because you didn't have to say that. You could have just said, have a good day. But those encouraging words gave me life to keep running. And it got me through. So again, I salute you. And I thank you for being a friend first. I thank you for being real. I thank you for having a good heart. And I know that it's greatness waiting for you. And I can go on and on, but I'm going to chill right here. Again, yo, salute to you. Much love, Diamond. To you, your family. And it's only up from here. Salute to everybody in the comments that rocks with her as well. Y'all be sure to check out her Facebook page, Diamin SweetTreatz. Follow her on social media, on IG. Put them orders in. She's got a catering business, great food. It'll support what she's doing. For real, for real. And again, I thank everybody for tuning in. I'm up there getting emotional. I try not to get emotional, but I mean, when it's real, it's from the heart. You can't fake that, yo. And I definitely appreciate you and got much love for you. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. We're going to get her back up here again. We'll put the date out and we'll let y'all know when y'all can come back, when she'll be up here so y'all can check that out. But I thank everybody for their time tonight for tuning in, whether you're watching it on the live or you're watching it on the playback. You know, and I pray that doors continue to open up for you and that this is just the beginning to your greatness, yo. And don't never come back down. Don't never look back down. Don't worry about what happened. Don't worry about who dropped the ball. Keep pushing because God got you. He done had you all these years and he gonna see you through the rest of the way. And yo, from your brother, yo, I love you. And salute to everybody for watching. This is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show. I go by the name of Sion 919. And I thank y'all, yo. Much love, yo. And love on your people while they're here, because we never know. Thank y'all.